Hi guys, so if you watched my last vlog, you'll know that it was my 4th week trading penny stocks on the US market with real money and my first red week on the market. So this week the market continued to be quiet and I was definitely over trading still and trying to play these day one gappers and none of them are working out, and I was just continuing to lose a lot of the gains that I've worked hard to make. So I'm learning the lesson now that I need to put the brakes on when the market's quiet, and then when the market heats up, that's time to try and cash in. So that was the week so far, and then Thursday came and the market started to heat up because we had a big runner, and I managed to cash in on 3 trades in one day, and they were all sympathy plays. So when you've got a big runner and then other similar stocks start to move in sympathy, and it was my best trading day so far. I'm not comfortable with sympathy plays. I've only taken one sympathy trade in January and that was a paper trade. So to have nailed 3 in one day was a big achievement for me. They were very quick trades, not comfortable, very volatile, and can quickly spike and potentially crash. So there was a lot of tension when I was taking these trades, and I'm excited to walk through the 3 trades that I took. Let's get to the chart. Okay, so we'll start off with the first trade I took, and I'm going to have a look at the stock, which was the reason why sympathy plays came into fruition. So the big runner on the day on Thursday was KIDZ, low float stock, and it had gone from around 110 up to 540 on its day one. So it was up over 400%, which is a big move, and especially when the market's been super quiet. So what can happen is when you get a run like this, other similar stocks can start moving in the same way. So I was scanning for stocks that were in the same industry. The exact same industry is what I was looking for. So the industry was financial conglomerate. So I was looking for stocks that were the same, that were also under $2, and that were similar float as well, low float stocks. So this was the move of kids on Thursday, and I started to look at potential sympathy plays Thursday evening. So you can actually, there might have been sympathy plays on this day, but I wasn't as quick quick enough to look at that. So I was looking at it on the evening of Thursday for potential plays the next day. So I'd found a couple of stocks on my radar that fit the exact same industry, same price range, and low float. And one of the stocks that was on my radar was FRGT. And I was watching it the next day, so on the Friday, had the chart up and just to see what it might do. Now, because I'm not experienced in sympathy plays, I didn't have massive confidence that like it would happen. It was just like, oh, this could happen. I think this is how sympathy plays work. So I was actually watching an old trading webinar, learning some stuff at the time. So my focus wasn't fully on this, which it should have been. But luckily I did flick onto the chart randomly early enough and saw that it was starting to have this grind up. And I caught it almost like just as soon as I saw it, basically I bought it. It was the time. I bought it at 6:51 here. Let me zoom in a little bit. 6:51 on the Friday. So I could see it had already had some volume start to come in, doing a little grind up, and I thought this has the potential to move. So I got in 6:51 a.m. at $1.29, and I was already taking small size because I'm not comfortable with these setups, but I just put half my position on because I caught it so just saw it, just went for it. I just thought, let me just put a little piece on for now, and then let me just reassess what's happening. So had a nice little push up, and then it had this grind down, which was quite difficult to sit through, to be honest, because this is a new setup to me. but I didn't want to sell any of my position yet. I thought I'm actually going to add to it. So where did I get in? My second buy was at 6.55. So on the way down, I topped up a little bit there, and then had to watch it go down a bit further before it started to grind up. So my idea on this was, it's a similar stock. I'm waiting to see the volume come in, a little bit of a grind up. That's my entry. I didn't necessarily have a set risk on this, which could potentially be quite dangerous. I'm not quite sure how people set their risk on sympathy plays, so I need to look into that. I was just going to sort of play it by ear, like if it didn't have the spike and just started coming back down to here, I was going to have to take a bigger loss than I wanted to. But yeah, I just kind of felt like this was going to go. So yeah, as you can see, it started to grind up, the volume starting to come in, and then it just starts to spike. So I sold at best sell. Yeah, looking back on it, it's not great because you can see where it went to, but my best sell was 235. Bear in mind, I bought this at an average price of, with my two sells, was 126. So I bought once at 129, tops up at 123, average buy of 126. Best sell 235. That's a nice trade. However, I'd sold a lot of it quite early on, just through inexperience, I guess. And my average sell was actually 159, which is like all the way down here. But overall, that is a 26% gain, which I am more than happy with. And that was a trade that took half an hour. And I thought I'd actually left some YOLO shares on here just to see what happened, but I must have made a mistake and sold the entire position by mistake up here. But, you know, that's fine. And this actually went on to, gosh, yeah, almost $4 that went to. So it would have been really nice to have held some of that. And that became one of the biggest runners on the day. It had also had some news 3 days before. What was the news? That they'd secured 20 million to create an official Trump token. But that was like 2 days before, I think it was. So obviously that definitely adds to some momentum behind it. But the reason this was spiking was, in my opinion, based off KIDZ. So yeah, nice trade there. And let's go to the next one. And actually, yeah, after this trade, I thought I'm done for the day. That's it. But then I started to think, let me just see if there's any others that might move the same. So another stock came up on my radar, which was KBSX. And again, exact same industry. It had come, let's go to the daily chart, from 151, so same price range and a low float stock. So let's go into the 1 minute chart. So I think I must have caught this, like, I think I saw it here. So I could see it was having these sort of little jolts up, but it was very illiquid, so I wasn't really sure what to do with it. And I said to myself, I'm not good with these yet. My confirmation is going to be when volume comes in, and if that means I have to buy it a bit higher, then I have to buy it a bit higher. In hindsight now, going back, I think these little grinds up, and it was the same with FRGT, this grind up, a little pullback. There's time to get in when you start to see it grinding. But I don't know, like perhaps I should be waiting for the volume to come in. That's fine as well. I guess I'll learn in time what the best way around it is. So I was watching it, ready to pull the trigger. As soon as I saw that volume come in, I wanted to buy. Obviously, when volume starts to come in, it can spike where you're going to have to buy it a bit higher because it moves so quickly. So I got in at $2.12, which would have been nicer to get in here, but that's fine. I've got my confirmation, the volume's coming in, and the move hasn't happened yet, really. So got in there, and then my best sell was $2.94, which is pretty nuts because that's practically, it only went as high as $2.95. So couldn't have had a better sell there, but that was a very small part of my position. My average sell was $2.60, which is actually really nice as well. And then it had this, I was just selling all the way up into this bit, basically. I'd held a bit, saw it crack, and I think I cut some down here. But it still worked out at a 21% gain, which is just great, and such a quick trade as well. And then I actually re-entered because I just thought this was going to go again, which is very stupid of me because I've seen this happen before. Once this spike's come back down, that's it. So when I re-entered, I just realised the mistake, and I'd cut, and I broke even on that a little bit, so that was fine. Another good example of how these sympathy plays can work, and this didn't necessarily continue like FRGT did. It just had a spike and then crashed. So I don't know if it has a slightly different definition to a sympathy play, but that's how I know it. It's moving in sympathy, but it's just a very quick move up and down. That's it. So then I really thought I was done for the day, but again, I found something else on the radar. So there was another big mover on the day, on the Friday now, which was PLRZ. This was up over 300% on the Friday. It was a biotech company, and it had come from 25 cents, spiked up to $1.19. So it was a biotech company. It's come from 25 cents, low float, and it was due to have a reverse split on the Monday, which is this S symbol here, or so I thought. So another potential sympathy play opportunity, which I found, was NIVF. This actually came up on my scan because it was actually in the same industry as KIDZ, the financial conglomerate industry. So I was looking at that, but I thought, well, it's not the same price range. This is coming from sort of 27 cents area. But then as I started to look at it, I realised, hang on, it's in the same price range as PLRZ. It's a low float company. It's actually almost identical float. They were both like 4 million float. And it was also due to have a reverse split the next day, on the Monday. So it was a different industry, but I thought, you know what? It's got a lot of similarities there. It's same price range, same float, both got reverse splits the next day, and actually the industry crossover with kids might just be an added bonus, to be honest. Might just add to it. So I was watching it again, had this little grind up, and then I got in. I think I just saw this candle here and immediately got in. I got in at 0.3350, so I must have got in there. I was ready to pull the trigger on that one as well, and then yeah, you can see like the little bit of volume coming there, which is an indication with this grind up, and then all the other reasons I've mentioned. And then it just has this really quick spike. And my average sell was 38. So like, yeah, down here somewhere. My best sell was 47, up there somewhere. And overall, it was a 12% gain for, you know, a trade that was probably about, I don't know, 5-minute trade. So yeah, that was awesome to see, and really awesome to start to see the similarities between these sympathies and how they work. They're very similar stocks. They've got grind upwards, the volume comes in, they can spike. One thing I'll mention about this one, which I've got quite wrong, my basis was, one of the reasons why I took this was because this had a reverse split the next Monday, and so did PLRZ. But the reason why PLRZ was spiking that day, which I hadn't realised, somebody in the chat community that I'm in highlighted it to me when I told them my thesis for this trade. It said actually this reverse split here was cancelled, and that was the reason why this was spiking in the first place. So I felt like a bit of an idiot for not seeing that, to be honest. But I still think, I don't know if people were looking at it in the same way as me, thinking they've both got reverse splits the next day, or just that the other similarities were enough to make this spike off the back of this. So yeah, bit of a mistake on my part, but you know what, it still came together and it still worked. So yeah, the other thing about these trades is, as I think I mentioned earlier, I'm not too sure where to risk off at the moment, and whether to be getting in before the volume comes in or wait for confirmation. So they're things that I need to look at. But yeah, overall, like 3 wicked trades in one day, and yeah, I'm just really excited. As I said, these were stressful trades, and although I'm just using small size, I really do view it as if I'm putting $1,000 on each trade, and I take it that seriously, just because I know if I can't make it work on small size, I can't make it work on big size. So there's definitely an emotional roller coaster taking these 3 trades, just because I'm not comfortable with them as well. And I've had this book sitting with me for a while, and it's never really felt like the right time to read it, but now seems quite fitting because I want to learn how successful traders can remain level-headed and trade with a balanced approach. So it's called The Psychology of Trading, and it's by Brett and Steenbarger. So I'm hoping that it can help me a bit with that. So after losing a lot of my gains over the last 2 weeks, I've pretty much regained them all in one day. And that's the power of trading when the market hots up and waiting for those prime setups and then backing off when the market's quiet. So I do need to get more disciplined about trading less when there's not much going on in the market. But I'm absolutely buzzing about these 3 trades on Friday. And as always, thanks for watching, and catch you next week.